Hundreds of thousands of people come to the Finger Lakes region to go on wine tours, to go fishing and sailing, and to bask in the natural beauty. But opponents of an expanded Bitcoin mining facility worry that it could negatively impact what is a multi-billion-dollar industry here in the region.
I believe tourism is the future of the Finger Lakes.
Michael Warren Thomas is an expert on tourism.
We have a combination of a cool climate, world-class wine region that happens to have amazing natural beauty.
Thomas is not the only one who values the high quality of the wineries in the region.
Even 20 years ago was by far the most established, viticultural area in the Northeast, and still is.
Alperte moved here from Long Island as a winemaker and stayed because
it's the whole package. It's this natural beauty, but also this very welcoming environment.
Alperte says about 80% of his income comes from foot traffic. He worries that industries like Greenwich Generation on the edge of Seneca Lake will be bad for business.
Whether it's noise, thermal pollution, or air pollution, these are concerns that I think everyone in the area is concerned about.
Bitcoin mining uses a lot of energy. That in turn generates a lot of heat and requires
the large fans on the buildings that are sucking that heat out and pushing into the environment, that are disrupting people's enjoyment on a summer barbecue and all that kind of stuff. These fans.
Driving by the facility on a normal day, noise levels are relatively low. But what you're hearing now is an increase of the noise coming from the facility. And this is what it sounds like on a normal day. But this could change with warming temperatures and an increase in Bitcoin mining machines. Another concern is harmful algal blooms.
Harmful algal blooms, people see that in the news and they're going to find another place to go.
Biology professor David Richardson said that algal blooms can make water undrinkable, hazardous for swimming, and make conditions dangerous for wildlife.
They're not something new, but I think what is new is a lot of the algal blooms that are occurring in what we previously thought were really nice, clear water.
Seneca Lake Pure Water's data points to 50 algal blooms on Seneca Lake in 2017. That represents a steep rise from previous years. Environmental groups worry that heated water, a byproduct of Greenwich Generation, will increase that number. But Richardson adds that may not be the case.
If it's 4 degrees Celsius and you're raising it to, I think, 108 Fahrenheit, then under the ice in the winter, that's gonna cool off real quick.
Richardson believes the facility will not have much of an impact on the entire lake, but
now locally, that may have a real, where the outflow is may make a real difference.
Richardson says algal blooms are mainly caused by runoff from the edge of a body of water. That includes wineries, homes, agriculture, and power plants.
There's a lot of different factors in terms of management practices as well as, agricultural practices that will affect how much those individuals will influence what's going on in the lake.
Noise and algae could negatively affect the tourism industry in the region. Studies show Finger Lakes tourism generated $3 billion of economic impact in 2018, nearly 59,000 jobs. Bitcoin mining produces jobs and tax revenue, but on a much smaller level.
You need to employ 1 to 2 people per shift to, like I say, keep the place secure and keep the fuses from blowing.
Right. I mean, we're never going to be, 300 jobs, right? That's not the vision for the place. We're going to have good, solid jobs, and we're going to continue to add incrementally as we go forward.
Bitcoin mining is much different from conventional mining. There's no need for excavating or hauling ore, and there's no need for big machines like these. Bitcoin mining relies instead on electricity and computers.
As the mayor, I would expect to generate 100 jobs for 1 megawatt of power. They generate 1 or 2 jobs per megawatt of power.
McKeon said even though the facility is not offering a large number of employment opportunities, they do plan to contribute through partnerships.
From local vendors, electrical workers, and others who are doing a lot of work at that facility.
Once the industry is done with, and they'll just throw away all their machines and they'll be done with it. But meanwhile, they stashed away millions, or in some cases, billions of dollars.
Reed adds the partnerships and jobs could eventually fade, while the effects could stick around for a long time.
It's not as much that, like tomorrow, are going to be fewer tourists because they're bit mining there. But it's going to, the long-term effect on the region is going to be substantial if this goes ahead.
Warren believes that businesses come to this region because it is a world-class wine region. He believes allowing industry expansion could deter businesses from investing here in the future.
Expanding that facility, upgrading it, what used to burn coal, is not something our region needs. The Bitcoin miners need it, but we don't need it.
Fascinating industry. It went from zero industry in 2009 to an $800 billion industry today. And Yates County is really at the center of it in New York State.
Over the past few months, I've talked to businesses, experts, and environmental groups who've all expressed concern over the negative effects this industry could have on the region. Granite Generation has said multiple times that it's operating well within New York State regulations and its permits. Tune in tomorrow as I explain what the future for industry will be here in the Finger Lakes. Reporting live from Atwater Vineyards, Cody Taylor, WENY News.